Dickie Needles!
Oh, sorry. I just woke up. Just got done playing Shoreline or Snoreline or whatever. Is that meme dead? I don't know if that meme's dead. Okay, yeah, so if you haven't noticed, we're talking about a shoreline. There was one at the bottom of the house. Yes, shoreline. This is how I go on the shoreline to take a nap. Look at me. I'm ready for napping. Okay, enough jokes. Maybe I've got a few more jokes. Shoreline. This is the map, okay? This map shoreline, okay? And things I wish I knew about shoreline, snoreline, whatever memes you want. Yeah. Okay. So this is shoreline, and the only thing you need to do is there's only 2 places to really care about, maybe 3. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. No, stop. Make it stop. There, now I'm on my brush. There's only 3 real areas. Actually, there's a few areas people really worry about, but there's really 2 areas that you see people. That's this gas station area down here with pier, and of course the resort. Now, why do I say that? Because, well, most people just sprint resort, okay? Usually you see a lot of hatchlings just sprinting to try to get their grubby little hands on a red key card, because all this game is about is money and no fun, okay? So everyone goes here because red key card, okay? No, okay, I'm gonna clear all that out. You get the point. A lot of people sprint in there because there is a ton of good loot at the resort. Yes. So there's a lot of, you're hoping for top spawns up here, god spawns. So yeah, a lot of people go to resort. Call it shoreline or snoreline because it's like a dead map, because no one goes anywhere but resort, or everyone is hatchlings, and there's not really a lot of gear guys. Yeah. Another thing. Okay, I think I beat that good enough. Also, the map is extremely large. I believe it's the biggest map in Tarkov. It takes you about 6 minutes to get across the map from one side to the other, where all the other maps can be done, I think, in 3 to 4. So it is a very large map, and it has a lot of nothing. There's like 4 vocal points. You have your gas station, you have weather station, you have resort, and you have this cottage downtown area. Power station has some scavs, but there's really not very good loot there. And I mean, swamp has okay loot, but you should never be here. Never be in swamp, okay? They have this like really neat mechanic where if you step in the water, you slow down to like a screeching halt and make a ton of noise, and you can't sprint, move, or anything. So it's basically like no man's land. Don't go in there, you'll probably die. Other things about the shoreline are it is a natural funnel. There's only 3 places you can really cross the map. It's like a Call of Duty design, okay? 3 lanes. 1, 2, 3. Kind of just highlight them a little bit. Up by Rock Passage, there's an extract and a little bridge area that you can get across. Then Power Station has a little bridge area that you can get across with a sniper scav if you need those kills. And then by Pier, there's a little bridge area that you can get across, which I personally take this area, or this area, depends on where I spawn, to get across the map. I don't cross Power Station. Power Station's probably your safest, because there's this big huge hill that overlooks all of this area, and then there's this little rock thing that you can peek across and see most of it. But this is the part where I run into my most PvP outside of the resort. I have only run into 2 people at Power Station this wipe, and Rock Passage I don't really run into people because generally I think people, if they're here, they're checking if the extract is up, which is right here, or they're already gone. So that is Shoreline in a little bit. There's tons of stashes, tons. As you can see the little yellow numbers on the map, there's like 38 or something. They're everywhere. As the making of this video, there is no Scav Boss, but Scav Boss is being added, so I won't talk about it. Cottage has some very good loot. Downtown and Village has some pretty good loot. However, it's crowded. It's not crowded, it's so condensed, and you can get turned around, and if you're with a team, it can be like a lot constant. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? I don't know. I think it's you. But other than that, it's good. I really like going to Pier because there's 2 safes. There's not really any other loot other than the safes. But Shoreline or Snoreline, because everything's in the resort. There's no real reason to go anywhere on this map other than resort, unless you're hitting stashes, and it is generally more of a PvE map, is what I would say. There's not a lot of scavs, really. There's not. There's some down at gas station and Pier, and there's a few in this little area here, and there's a few in this area here. I've only ever seen one at Weather Station, so it must spawn really late. And then you get some by this crate, and you get some by Power Station. But yeah, generally, sprint to one of these areas, kills the 2 or 3 guaranteed spawns, and extract, because there's not much else to do. I personally enjoy going to Scav Island. However, it is probably a death sentence, because if a single person sees you go on to this place, you're dead, because you can't get out any other way than the barge, and if they're smart, they just sit right here and shoot you as you try to run across, or they just wait you out. So keep that in mind. And yeah, my suggestion for Shoreline would be, why don't we just cut it down, right down, not even the middle, and we make this map Resort, and we make this map Shoreline, and then we expand this, make this bigger, add more shore. Does this map have a ton of potential in the future? Absolutely, because they're gonna open up this area. Okay, I gotta clear out the rest of my line real quick. Please hold. They're gonna open up this area, which is gonna be like a military base, which will now have, giving the Shoreline 2 vocal points as the resort and this military base, and they're adding a Scav Boss, and at the time they say he's gonna sit in Lighthouse, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that is Shoreline. Now I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper into the resort, and this is the resort. And why does everyone go to the resort? I think it's pretty evident. Pretty obvious, based on the map and my giant black circles. Red key cards. Yeah, red key cards. Now I, in the first time ever, actually have gotten most of the keys for Resort, and looted most of them. I've gotten a total of 3 LEDXs and 5 graphics cards while looting here, so yes. Is there fat, precious loot? Absolutely. Is it fun going to resort solo? No. How would you do it? A 5 stack of chads like I did it. So bring your friends as friends. And how this works is if you're in a 5-man, you can take the whole place. It's all yours. If you're not in a 5-man and you're in a 2 or a 3, if you get to West Wing first, loot West Wing. If you get to East Wing first, loot East Wing. Don't try to loot both if you're in a small man party. Because for 2 reasons. 1, you can avoid a gunfight. And 2, if you get to West Wing first and you loot West Wing, if a single person gets to East Wing, they've probably looted all of East Wing. So you rarely get both wings. Unless you're in a stack, and then at that point, what you do is whatever wing you get to first, you push through to the opposite wing, because you know that since you got to West Wing first, if you clear East Wing immediately after getting to the resort, no one probably followed you. So that's just my little tip, but you guys can do what you want. Now, I've never personally seen a red key card, but yeah, it doesn't exist. You can't convince me otherwise. I personally think West Wing has better loot, but East Wing is a lot more consistent and has a more variety. This is a lot of meds and tech and valuables, where this is a lot of valuables and or what's the word? Weapons. There's a lot of weapon attachment rooms on this east side. Could be wrong, that's just my experience. I personally like West Wing because I have these 3 keys. You can get 3 high value rooms real fast, 2 LEDX spawns, and then there's East Wing 222, which has this little cubby as you open the door that's on the right, that if the door closes over it, that you now have to reclose the door to check if there's a LEDX there. I probably missed a LEDX or 2 because I didn't realize that's where all the good loot was. However, yeah, your high priority keys here are down here below, and if you want, you just pause the video. I'm not gonna go over all of them. They're basically all the yellow rooms. These are generally really good rooms to have. Don't have to have all of them, you can just have some of them. And I don't know, in 5 runs I bought like 17 keys or something, and it was like 4 million, and in 5 runs I paid for all of my keys. So yes, you can get fat. I didn't even get a blue key card or a red key card, and the 2 graphics cards that I did get during those 5 runs, I turned in for a quest, so I didn't even tell them to make money. So there's that. But yeah, there's plenty of beds in here too if you want to take a nap because you get bored because there's no one here. But if you're here, generally you can expect to run into someone. But yeah, plenty of beds to sleep on. This map does not cover the admin building. There's an admin building that has some pretty good keys and loot in there. I personally don't like it, but that's neither here nor there. So that is my storyline guide and things I wish I would have known. Actually, I got one more thing. Fighting in this area is awful. Single lane gunfights. Okay? I'm just gonna keep drawing boxes. Single lane gunfights. Do you know how you win this? You be an absolute madman and just hold a peek angle in Hopi peaks and you hit the headshot, or you have more grenades. Okay? CQC encounters in Tarkov are exaggerated in one lane areas. It's pretty difficult to kill someone down one of these lanes when they're stationary and holding an angle, unless you have grenades. So bring grenades. Bring nades. Nades are your friends. It is the only way to get people to move, because if someone is holding in this room the peak angle down the hallway, it is going to be very hard for you to kill him. It's going to be very hard for him to kill you, and then you're going to spend all time just trying to kill each other. Unless you have nades, then you can nade them out and push off or retreat off of a thrown nade. So bring nades to Shoreline if you're going to go to the resort, because unless you love donating gear, yeah, should probably have some nades. Yeah. Generally, if you go on night Shoreline, the resort's pretty empty, or you're running into the McChatterson with the night vision and the meta everything with backup slicks. But other than that, yeah, that's some things I wish I knew about Shoreline. My little rundown and things that I learned while doing it in my short time with Shoreline, because it's my least favorite map. But that's things I wish I knew about Shoreline. If you liked the video or you found it informational, please like and subscribe, because it helps me out a great deal. If you didn't like the video or you have suggestions for future videos, put them down in the comments below and tell me what I can improve on or would like to see. And most importantly, have a great day.